can send it to everyone. And this is so weird. There's like there you go. Of course, I started recording right when I fixed my hair. Okay, so this is, as usual, a very laid back presentation of this information. Really what this is intended to do is to give you a really good idea of what you can do with Facebook ads and how to spend less money. So we've gone for the past couple of weeks, we went over kind of like a general type of information. Hi, Gail. We went over general information as far as what Facebook's ads can do. And then we last week took a look at what the pixel is, and we took a look at how you can use that pixel in order to create different types or different things as far as audiences are concerned. And today we're digging deeper. So now we're taking it to the point where we're gonna really look at what a custom audience is, what types of custom audiences are available to you, but then we're going to look at the different types of ads that you can actually create. So there's two parts to that. There's the ad type and then the ad format. And anybody, no matter who you are, you don't have to be a Fortune 500 company, can harness the power of the ads that we're going to talk about today. And when you learn about the types of creative that are available to you, you will be astounded because you know, a lot of times, you know, back in my days at Turner, it was, you know, we had to have a creative agency in order to get creative to run online. You do not need that. You can be sitting at home as an entrepreneur and you can create some pretty powerful commercials or creative, basically, in order to reach your target audience and get a better return on your investment. And you don't have to be a coder, you don't have to be a graphic designer, anybody can do it. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump into the presentation and share my screen. And as in the past, if you have a question, I'm going to have the chat open on Zoom. And then also, you know, feel free to unmute. This isn't the Amanda show. So as much as I might think it is, it's really not. And I really do encourage conversation. So if you don't understand something that I say, you know what, interrupting me is not a bad thing. And I can help. And if I can't answer it right away, I will definitely get to it after the presentation. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. I've got my chat window open now, and I've got all of you over to the left-hand side, so you'll see me going like this a lot. All right. So today we're talking about the Facebook ad types and the custom audiences, and it can be rather overwhelming if you don't know, you know, what you're doing when you get into Facebook Ads Manager. And where do you begin? So a lot of times when I speak with my clients or with my students at Macomb, I will get the question of, well, there's just so many different choices. I'm just paralyzed with choices, and so I just don't even begin. Or someone will tell me that they've spent, you know, hundreds of dollars on Facebook ads and they've done nothing for them. Or worse yet, they'll tell me that they had $15 and they spent $15 and nothing happened. If you're going to spend $15 on a Facebook ads campaign, I would rather you go and buy yourself lunch because that's not going to help you at all. So with that said, okay, so today we're going to first talk about the custom audiences. And the reason why I've got that first is because there's a lot going on when we start talking about the Facebook ad types, and I want to make sure that we get to everything. So custom audiences comes first, Facebook ad types is second, and then we're going to talk about ad formats. And that's when I will say the word creative a lot. When I say the word creative, that just means the actual commercial or the ad that you're creating. It's just a default term that I use that comes from my days in advertising. So I will slip into that. And so when I say creative, I mean your ad. Fun tools. So I've got a couple of fun things that you can do that will actually take it up another notch and make life even easier for you. And then we'll start doing questions and answers. But again, you can ask me questions throughout, and you know, it's very informal. I'd be happy to answer anything for you. So who am I? For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Amanda Herr, and I own Digital Desk. Digital Desk is a virtual assistant agency, we focus specifically on digital marketing. So I will help you with your social media support, your web design, lead generation, really anything that falls underneath the digital marketing realm. That's sales pages, emails, etc. I also go around and speak about digital marketing. I believe that it is not only here, but it's also the wave of the future. It changes every day. And I am very passionate about the fact that it can empower and entrepreneurs, small businesses, and nonprofits to bring themselves to the next level. And you don't have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in order to do so. Advertising and marketing expert, 27 years in the business. I teach at Macomb. So if you want a digital marketing certificate for your resume, come and take my classes at Macomb Community College this fall. And I spent 17 years at CNN. My last position there was Vice President of Advertising Sales for the Midwest. So I handled their TV and digital assets as well. So that's who I am. I'm also a complete nerd who lives and breathes this stuff all the time. So I'm always around if you have a question. Okay, so custom audiences. Basically, custom audiences is something that is kind of like the key to using Facebook ads the best way possible. What they do is they will take a cold audience, meaning they've never heard of you before, and they will help you create pockets of warm audiences. So once they've heard of you in one way or another, they become categorized into these subsets of audiences so that you can speak directly to those people in the way that they need you to speak to them, which is the key. So what types of custom audiences can we create? We can create different types like website activity, getting to people who have seen a video of yours, getting to people who have been on your Facebook page and done something on your Facebook page, getting to people who have filled out a lead form, getting to people who have actually interacted with an event or seen an event. But we can create, so they've got this big cold audience, okay, so they've never heard of you before. Then let's say they see an ad that you ran that was a video ad. So then we put them in the bucket for the video, someone who has seen one of your videos. Then you look at it again, you've got that big cold audience, and then they've actually seen your event or interacted with your event. So now they go into that bucket. So now you've got these different buckets, your video bucket, and you've got your event bucket. And you can not just have them in your bucket, you can actually then send them another ad that actually has a different conversation because they now know who you are. So you don't have to be introducing yourself all the time. You can actually start to have a conversation with them because you know that they've already interacted with you in some manner. So let me show you, because that will actually bring home what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm in the Ads Manager for Facebook. So if you haven't done a Facebook ad, you just go and you can set up at ads.facebook.com. You can set up your Ads Manager. But I'm in the Ads Manager, and up here is this little square. And the little square is kind of where everything lives. So I'm going to go to Audiences. And in Audiences, it's going to, I have to make sure that I pick the right account. I have many different accounts because I work with different clients. So I just make sure that I pick the right account. I'll go to Digital Desk. Here we go. You won't have that many. Unless, of course, you do what I do. So here I can create audiences now. All right. It's really, really easy to do. You see, I have a ton of audiences here already, and it says some of them are custom and some of them are saved. Saved audiences just means that I created them and I saved them earlier when I was doing an ad. A custom audience means that I went to create audience, custom audience, and now I'm here, okay? I can do a couple of things. I can create, I'm gonna come down here first because I'm using Facebook as my source. Anybody can do this, all right? I can say anybody who has interacted with any video for 3 seconds, 10 seconds, etc., 25% of it, whatever you want. in the past whatever days, so you can go up to 365 days. You know, you really don't want to though. I mean, I would say last 30 days maybe. Depending on what campaign you're running, you're probably going to want to do even less than that, because seriously, if you saw it 364 days ago, you probably don't remember me anyway. And then, but if I said like here in 10 seconds, I can actually choose a specific video. Again, making sure that I'm choosing the right ad account. I'll just pick, let's see. There we are, Digital Desk. And so I want to just, anybody that's on Memorial Day, and I can hit confirm. I'll just do it. And then I'm going to say anybody that saw my Memorial Day ad, day video. And mind you, that was a post. That wasn't even an ad. So I had a video post. Anybody that saw that video post, I can say in the last, I don't know, 10 days, I can create that audience. Now, why does that matter? It matters because, like, if I have $100 to spend and I'm trying to get somebody to take an action and I only have $100, then I need to talk to somebody who already understands who I am and what I do. I can't spend my $100 talking to someone who's never heard of me before and ask them to take an action, because I don't have enough money to introduce myself, to get them to be familiar with me, and then ask them to take an action. Heck, I don't have that type of money. So I'm going to take somebody who saw my post or saw my videos, and I'm going to send them an ad that's not going to be like cold type of creative or cold copy, meaning what I'm typing or the words I'm going to use. I'm going to use more familiar wording, so that I'm speaking directly to them, the one person that's behind that screen, and I know that they know me because they saw my video, so I'm going to be a warmer conversation. It's going to be more, I can give them more information about my product. I don't necessarily have to introduce my company anymore. Does that make sense? And so I'm going to spend my $100 just on those people, and I'll be able to hammer them a couple of times. I know it sounds terrible, but they'll see it more than one time, because I'm going to just get this little pocket and I'm going to just spend my money there. So that means they get to see it more than once, which is extremely important. It used to take 3 exposures for someone to actually take an action. Now it can take up to 20. So even if someone sees your ad 7 times, it's okay. Okay. So you want to just kind of focus on them. So you take, and I've said this every week, you start small, and once you get those people really comfortable, then you start growing your audience out bigger, because none of us are millionaires. Okay, if you are, call me, tell me how you did it. So you got to keep just small, like small, and then grow and grow and grow. Okay. So anyway, so now the people that's on my Memorial Day video, I can say something that's a little bit warmer. So what are some of the other audiences that I can create? I can create other audiences, like anybody that's filled out one of my Facebook lead forms. I can't, like if I have a lead form that's not a Facebook lead form, this won't work. But if they filled out a Facebook lead form, I can create an audience. And talk about a hot audience. These people already gave me their information, right? Instagram business profile. This is why, and again, you want to have a business profile if you're on Instagram. It's business profile. You have so much more you can do with a business profile. You can even do shopping now with a business profile. You don't even need a third party. Business profile. So anybody that's actually interacted, I can do an audience out of it. Anybody that's interacted with all of my events, some of my events, a particular event, I can make a custom audience out of it. Anybody that's actually interacted with a post or interacted with my Facebook page. Instant experiences, we're going to talk about that. It's a type of ad that you can do, which is basically really optimized for mobile, and it's kind of like a mini website. So you can make a custom audience out of that. Marketplace listings, and like let's say I was into that, I could do a custom audience out of that. But so that's all using my Facebook data. Okay, sorry, I still have allergies. Okay, so now Now we're going to get a little bit more technical. I want to do anybody that's gone to my website and they've gone to a specific page of my website. So my client, Construct Clean, actually it's Construct Team, but they have the Construct Clean product. So Construct Clean, right now they're talking about how they can help deep clean for coronavirus. So I want to get anybody that has gone to the Construct Clean page. So I can use a Facebook pixel, which we talked about last week. And if you missed any of my webinars, you can just go to my website. At the bottom, it'll say webinars. They're all there. You just go and you can watch them. But you take it, you put the pixel on your website. Now you can do a whole audience of only those people who have gone to the Construct Clean page. So I know that I've been running an ad for them about it and shooting people over there to that page. Well, not only can I retarget, meaning send another ad to anybody that's seen that ad, but I could also just send an ad to anybody that's seen that page. And then have a different conversation with them because they've already been there. I don't have to reintroduce Construct Clean. What I do need to do is let them know why they should be using it. Let them know, they know what it is. Let them know why it's the best way to do it. So that's how you can use that type of thing. Or let's say you're on your they came to your website and they went to, your homepage, but you want to make sure that they go deeper. So you can then hit them with a Construct Clean ad to get them to come back to your website. Customer list. If you have, I always tell my clients, if you can get someone's first name, last name, email address, fantastic. It's like gold. If you can get that information into an Excel sheet and then download it into what's, it's just basically downloading it in a different format, which is a CSV. Then you can upload it into Facebook. Now, Facebook has, I think it's 14 or 15 points of authentication, meaning that if you have their phone number, address, first name, last name, email address, whatever, right? These 14 points of authentication, they'll go out into Facebook and find these people, and they will actually create an audience of them. So let's say you have a prospect list. So for me at Digital Desk, I have my freebie, right? My free guide to digital marketing, 5 steps to social media success for your business. So I have all those people's information. So I can upload that list into Facebook. Well, I know that they've already gotten the guide. So I know that they know who I am. So now my conversation is going to be different, but what a hot audience could that be, right? Like I have e-courses, they've gotten my freebie. I know that. Now I hit them with an ad through Facebook with my customer list custom audience for my e-course. And they're going to be more apt to actually purchase it. But also I'm going to be spending less money because guess what? That group is this big compared to having to figure out who's going to buy it by just sending an ad to anybody that likes digital marketing, right? So I don't have this, I've got this. App activity, you can do it with anybody who has had activity on your app. Offline activity means anybody who has come into your store. You can upload that type of information and create an offline activity custom audience, believe it or not. And you have that offline activity and you can hit them with an ad. It's a beautiful thing. Does that all make sense to everybody? Yeah? So you can see how custom audiences are so important and they're so easy to do. Now, these right here, you have to have a pixel, okay? So you got to have that pixel up and going. But these, anybody can do. You don't need a pixel. I will say that they do make you, I believe, have a business manager now in order to do any of this stuff. I'm not sure about this stuff. But here you need a business manager and you need a pixel for sure, okay? So that's custom audiences. Does anybody have any questions before I hop off and go back to my presentation to the next thing? No? Okay. So that was all one slide. No. Hi, Gail. Did you have a question? Nope. Okay. So next we go, oops, I'm going the wrong way. I will do that at least once a week. Okay, so the Facebook ad types, all right? Now, Facebook is a computer, so it only does what you tell it to do, okay? So you can't tell Facebook that you want to get clicks, but you're telling it to do an ad that is optimized for impressions, okay, or serves. You have to tell it what you want it to do. So I'm going back to the ads manager, and we're going to talk about the different types of ads that you can actually choose. And this is all, by the way, in the PDF I'm going to send you. That's why I made it very wordy, because this is stuff that you need to have at your fingertips, okay? So I'm going over it in generics. You're going to get the detail in the PDF. So here we go. So there's this type of ad types, okay? And each one is built for something specific. And they make it pretty darn easy to figure out which one is for what. But look, if you look at the brand awareness, it's under awareness. These are the ones like, let's say you're just launching. I got a call yesterday from a guy who's launching a UPS store. So if you just want people to be aware of your product or your company or your event, or not your event, but or whatever it might be, you pick brand awareness. That is going to reach, you know, as many people that they think would be interested in your information or your ad, okay? But they'll reach them numerous times, okay? So it's just serves of your ad to the right audience, okay? Trying to create awareness. So you could have a lot of what's called frequency. That means when the same person has seen it more than one time, which is totally fine. But if you go over a certain level, you're probably going to waste your money because you're going to have ad burnout. But so this one's just brand awareness, serve. Down here is reach. So this is reaching as many people specifically as possible that would be interested in your message. So whereas this one, it's just reach. We could have a lot of frequency. They could see it more than once. This one is just as many people as possible, and they're probably not going to have as much frequency. So you're not going to have them seeing it more than one time. Well, you might have it more than once, but you won't have a lot of frequency. Okay. So that's like when you just want to get people aware. Cold audience, like if Digital Desk, it's a new name for my company. It used to be Social Fuel Media. So I might do an ad that's just like warming people up in Michigan or wherever, because I'm focusing on Michigan right now, warming up in Michigan so that they know what the heck Digital Desk is, right? Well, now I'm done warming them up. I want them to start consider using Digital Desk. So I'm under consideration. In the traffic area, that's if I want to get someone to leave Facebook and go to my website or go to my lead page or go somewhere else, okay? Engagement is if I want them to like my page, respond to an event, or to actually interact with a post. So a post push would go under engagement. App install, obviously, that's for app installs. Video views, so if you have videos that you want people to see, if you want to make sure that they're actually watching this video and you want to have them actually watch it through, video views, optimizing it for that. Lead generation. Key point here, lead generation is when you want to get someone's information. However, lead generation only uses the Facebook form. So if you're using something like leadpages.net, which is fantastic for lead generation, it's beautiful interface, or Unbounce or whatever that might be, you're not going to use that, okay? Which is kind of a bummer, but that's just for the Facebook form. And then messages. So messages could be for what getting people to actually send you a message, to actually interact like with WhatsApp, or actually also Instagram direct. So meaning that you want them to send you or interact with you in messages on Instagram direct. That one's cool if you have like a bot, which is a messenger bot that answers questions, because they automatically are now like put in your bucket where you can send them messages through their messenger whenever you want now, because they've actually messaged you. So it kind of like gets across that legal threshold. I want to mention one thing though. This is where we get into, like I said, here, where it says traffic, like if we have a lead page that we want them to fill out, we're going to choose traffic, but we are going to, when we choose traffic, we're going to optimize. You can do it by impression, or you would do it by landing page. And you would want that. So I'm not going to get into the weeds on this. I'm just saying, when you decide what you're going to want to, first of all, you got to decide why you're doing an ad in the first place. It's not always just to get someone to purchase something. That's like, you can't. But if you're doing an ad, are you doing it to get them to go to a lead page of your own? Or you want them to go to your website? Are you trying to get them to interact with a post? Like, what are you trying to do? And then you need to choose the right ad type, because if you tell Facebook that you want them to get you to have someone to interact with your post with the post push under this engagement, and then you're mad because you spent more money, like by, CPM, or like you're mad because you didn't get a lot of clicks or whatever it might be, well, that's your fault, really, because you told the computer that is Facebook that you wanted just post like interaction. If you had told Facebook that you wanted clicks, or that you wanted, whatever it was that you're upset about, and they didn't do it, then it's Facebook's fault. But other than that, again, you need to tell Facebook what you want. Now, over here is where it gets really cool, but it gets a little bit more techie. So this is conversion. This is when you want, it could be anything. So like you want them to take an action of some sort, okay? This is where your pixel also comes into play. If you don't have a Facebook pixel, you cannot use this entire row right here, okay? Now, under conversions, I could say, let's say I want them to purchase something. So I can tell Facebook not to just get them to the place where they would actually purchase. I could tell them to get to the thank you page after purchase. So I say, hey, Facebook, I want you to optimize my ad so that people get to the thank you page that they get after they purchase something. And Facebook does that, meaning that it optimizes to get people through the purchase funnel. Okay, so how cool is that? I'm going to spend less money because Facebook is actually trying to get people to the thank you page. So it makes people actually, like, gets to the people who are actually going to spend their money. That's pretty awesome. And if you're sending it to one of those custom audiences we just talked about, wow, are you cutting down on your ad spend? You can use that for lead pages, etc. Catalog sales, this is really, okay, this is fairly-ish new. Catalog sales, if you have a shop, if you have a specific tangible item, product that you sell, and you're not just a service, then you can actually create a catalog, and there's a catalog manager now. So this catalog sales is set up in your shop on your Facebook page, or you can actually go into Facebook and go to the catalog manager. All right, long story, that's a whole nother day. But you set up this catalog, and you can then do product sales right through Facebook, and now you can do them on Instagram if you're approved by Instagram, which is sweet because that's pretty new. And if you have actual physical product, it's a beautiful thing. Makes me want to have physical product to sell. I know, I just have services. And then store traffic. So you can actually create an ad that would push for store traffic. So it's going to optimize for store traffic to get people boots on the ground into your brick and mortar. Does everybody understand what I was going through? Any questions? Okay, awesome. So that's the ad types. And then, like I said, everything I just said is right here. And if you lose this, I got it from Facebook. So I didn't write it. Okay. The Facebook ad formats. Now, there's tons of them, so I don't want to overwhelm. I just want to give you the highlights. And then you're going to take this PDF that I send you and you're going to use it and keep it with you whenever you do a Facebook ad, because then you can figure out which one's the best. So there's the regular generic photo ad. And that's like if you're just going to be getting, you know, to people with just like one image and you just want to have one photo, which is fine. It's a fine thing to do, but it's not the most exciting thing to do. Then there's the video ad. Video ads are really cool because that motion that they give, they get more engagement, and it says with the video engagement rate of 6.13 on average, it's twice the engagement rate of just a regular photo. And so you want to upload the highest resolution of the video you can possibly do. Generally, it's I think a 1080. And then the cool part about this too is that when you do a video ad, not only can you then do the ad, you can start to have a conversation, because then you can create that custom audience we talked about of anybody that saw the video ad from the ad, right? So that video that was in the ad, you do a custom audience, and then you can have another ad. So once they saw that, they get another one, and so on and so forth. So video ads are really great for retargeting. Oh, wrong way again. Okay, slideshow. Slideshows are really cool because you can actually, like if you don't have a video, but you want to be able to actually, you know, retarget later with anybody that saw a video, then you can actually do a slideshow. So you can have up to 10 photos and you can create a slideshow, and it looks like over here to the right, and that slideshow will actually forward on its own. And I'm going to show you where I'm going with this. So I'm going to come here and just pretend to do an ad. And I'm going to get to the creative area. Okay. Now it should be noted that depending on what you choose, so like if you chose conversion ad, or you chose a traffic ad, or you chose awareness, you have different opportunity to create. So like some of them will let you do a slideshow, some of them won't. Some of them will let you do, you know, a video, some of them won't, some, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So it depends on what you've chosen as to what you're able to create, okay? But here you'll see that I can actually do a couple of different, well, I don't want to jump here. So let's see, create slideshow down here. Is someone typing? I'm not sure. I'm gonna mute. There we go. All right, cool. It's just in my ear. So here you'll see create slideshow, and you can pick a template. So they make it so easy. There's nothing that you can't figure out. I mean, anyone that is used to doing anything in Facebook can come in here and do it. So you can pick this one, and you can upload 5 to 10 images, and then you can edit the way that it looks, and you create this beautiful slideshow, right in Facebook's Ads Manager. So I didn't have to go out and seek out a creative agency and ask them to put something together for thousands of dollars, okay? I could just come in here, pick a template, put my 10 photos in, put my stuff in, and Facebook does it for me. First couple times it's probably gonna take you a while, not gonna lie. But once you get the hang of it, holy cow, it's really good. And if you're trying to get like information to someone, you have about 3 seconds to grab someone's attention with an ad. It's about 3 seconds. So if you did something like a slideshow rather than a static photo, you're going to get more attention. You're going to get them to stop the scroll a lot easier than if it was just a photo. And you're going to want to make sure that that beginning part of that slideshow is engaging and eye-catching. So color is going to play a role. Cleanness is going to play a role. The type of movement is going to play a role. So think about that when you're creating all of these things. So next up is Oh, that's 3 times so far. Carousel ads. Carousel ads are one of my favorites. When you have multiple things that you're trying to actually promote, a carousel ad allows you to have up to 10 different images, okay? But then the difference between that and a slideshow is that someone has to kind of forward through it, you know, they point, point, point. So, but also you can have a link underneath each picture with a heading. So if you wanted to take someone through your entire website, you could. If you have products, like, you know, different pages for different products that you want to highlight, you just put them all in there. At the bottom, you put the link and the header, and they can go through and click on all of those things, and they would go to every single thing that you're trying to highlight. It's a beautiful way of actually creating an ad. The next one, and I'll show you both in a second, but is story. So we may not think about using story on Instagram and Facebook as an opportunity for an ad, but truly it is. Story actually just in and of itself gets more engagement on Instagram than a regular post. I've heard numbers kicked around. It used to be like 300% more engagement. I don't know what it is right now, but story is really cool because you can create these beautiful stories and they would flip, you know, and people would actually interact with you in that manner as well. They're great for businesses. It's great when you have a product and you're launching a new product. They're great for telling the overall story of your brand. Remember, stories are up for about 24 hours when they're organic and they're not an ad, but they're up and people use them to tell stories, hence the name. So like it could be, you could tell the story of a day with the story format. In your story ad, you could have 3 different stories. It allows you to do 3 different things or different pieces of creative that will literally tell a story, okay? So here is the carousel ad, all right? So here you'll see I could add 3 or up to 10. So now if I picked a photo, it would change this and I could give it a headline. Okay, Amanda is cool. And then I give it okay. So now you'll see it says Amanda is cool, and it just pulled my old graphic here. But if I had a picture, it would be the picture. And then we would do this for each one. And at the end, you could even do like picture, video. You can have pictures, videos, slideshows, all of that, but each one goes to a different one. So if I was on desktop, you see this arrow here? Somebody could just interact with everything. And at the end, I could even have a map to my business or just the click to my website. So if you have multiple products, now I have a client, Wrapped in Love. They make really great, accessible, beautiful clothing for women who are going through the cancer process. And so they have a bunch of different things, headscarves, they have the wraps, they have all kinds of different things. So using a carousel like this with clickable links at the bottom, even learn more buttons is a great thing because they can highlight everything. For me, I might highlight my different services and do something like this. Okay, any questions so far? Just want to check in. Everybody's still with me? Okay, so that's carousel. Oh, story. I was going to show you story. The story one is, I don't know if I have access to it here. No. On this one, I don't. It doesn't give me the opportunity to do story on this one because I didn't choose one that would let me. I do want to point out though that you can, if you don't want to create an ad, you can always also just use a post that you've already done. Okay. Okay. So we've done slideshow. We've done Carousel and story, messenger ads. I mentioned those. Messenger ads work great for like people who, they call it lower funnel. Basically, that's people who already know who you are, have possibly already given you their information, or people who, like, let's say I did a custom audience of all of my customers. So I uploaded all of my customers into Facebook. They found them. But I want to be able to message them. Well, I'm not allowed to legally unless they opt in to be messaged by Digital Desk. So I do an ad and I shoot an ad to them, and then they actually interact, and then I now can message them anytime I want. So if I have a promotion, if I have a class, if I have, you know, something like this webinar coming up, I can message them anytime I want. The other thing is I can do Instagram Direct, which is their messaging platform, or WhatsApp. The other part of this is, like I mentioned, if you have a chat bot, which I went over that in one of our trainings, then you can actually start a conversation. You know, hey, they interact with your ad, you ask them information, they can ask you a question, and your chat bot is already programmed to answer. So that's a great thing as well. So the messenger ads and sponsored messages actually appears in their inbox. Don't like these. Not gonna lie, they're there for you, but it's kind of like when people spam you, and I don't dig it. So I wouldn't suggest that one. Messenger, fine. Gets them to message you. This one, it's almost like to me, it's like, let me have one spot of my life where I don't get an ad. That's kind of how I feel about that. Okay, playable ads. The playable ads format, it's really, really niche. And it's for the gaming industry. So I'm not going to really get into it because I'm not as familiar with it because I've never used it. But it's really for the gaming industry. There's some really cool stuff you can do with it. And I think that it's really focused on people with a gaming app. Collection and instant experience. Now, if you have a store, if you have physical product, you can do a collection and an instant experience. So like I said, you set up your catalog. You can do that. It's really simple. So like, don't get scared of it. If you have a Facebook page that has a shopping tab on it, or you can add a shopping tab to it, then you just set up your products in the shopping tab and it creates a catalog for you. And then you can have access to it. It's really simple. Otherwise, I think you can create it by going, possibly I have to find the URL, but it's probably like catalog.facebook.com or something like that. So you set it up, and it's called the Catalog Manager. You might even be able to get it. Let's see. Yeah, it's here now. So it's actually there. You don't even have to worry about it. It's Catalog Manager. So you set up your Catalog Manager with your products, okay? And so when you're actually creating an ad, because it's set up, I'm in Ads Manager instead of Catalog Manager, I'm going to create an ad. And I'm going to create, let's say, catalog sales ad. Yeah, just hit continue. And come down here. Okay, so this should give me, now, like I said, this makes me want to sell something that's actual physical product. I can sell my time plans. I could do that, but it just doesn't really fit well. So you can see I've actually got some products in here. But so here I can create different types of ads. So let's see, it says dynamic format, meaning that it will choose which one to serve to the person getting the ad, because they know what they would be interested in because of what they do on Facebook. So if they think that person would be more interested in my free consult, they'll serve that. If they think that they're more interested in one of my e-courses, they will serve that, okay? But you can also do different types of formats. So I'm gonna turn this off. Okay, so if you didn't wanna do the dynamic, you could come here and do the carousel or the single image or this thing called a collection, which is pretty sweet actually. This collection turns into a storefront for you, all right? So again, this is an instant experience. So when they hit your collection, they go into a full screen on their mobile experience. So I'm going to just say, use this template. You guys are probably going to be like, what? But you can watch this over at the end, okay? Because this is actually pretty sweet, and this is new-ish, like maybe a year old. Okay, so this is going to create a template, and you're going to be able to, have you ever seen those ads on Facebook where they've got like one hero image and then underneath it there's like 4 or 5 tiles of product? That's what this is going to create. And it may not do it right now because I'm on Zoom and my computer doesn't like it, but basically you'll have one big, well, this is taking forever. You would have one big image, okay? And then you can have little tiles of your other product down here. And you would have the ability to, again, choose a template. So this is not going to do it for me, but you can choose a template, and there's just like on the other one I showed you where there was a template that you go in and you just revise it for your stuff. That's what you do here, okay? And then you actually have a little storefront that gets actually put in your ad. And so the people that are served your ad get to see a tiny little storefront with one major image, little tiles. They click on it and it becomes a full screen experience that is an area where they can buy all of your different product. Now it seems like it's doing something, but wow. Okay, so that's that one. And the instant experience, that's the instant storefront. And then the collection, which again is that big item. The instant lookbooks are designed to inspire your audience in lifetime images. So again, this is the lookbook. This is just talking about what I was just saying. You can do it just with the major image and then the small tiles. And instant customer acquisition. So this is one that I can't show you right now, but the instant customer acquisition, basically it's like a landing page that has a Facebook interface that allows you to grab the information from that user. So it's the lead form. So when we chose the ad type, it would have been lead generation. It's the Facebook form, which they've tried to make better. And basically you create it to look like your company, and Facebook automatically, instantly, hence the name, inputs the information, first name, last name, email address of the person that's the Facebook user seeing it, and then gives it to you. They have to say accept, but then it would give it to you. They don't even have to type it in. All right. So that's a nice thing too. And I think that they've made some strides in their forums. I'm just not a lover of the forum, just because I'll be honest with you, it's never worked for me, no matter how ugly or pretty it was. Their forums have not worked for me, but that's just me. Okay. Okay. Did I miss one? Okay. Yes. Instant storytelling. Now that we've caught your attention, let us learn more about storytelling. Okay, tell your own brand story. Like I said, this is the story ad, but you can use it in different ways, and you can actually have narrative over it, and then the instant form. So to me, I pulled this from an article, and I feel like these are just the same. He's just retelling the same thing, so I apologize, but he says it in 2 different ways. You'll see here that I put, this is kind of like the holy grail of ad types. And so for me anyway, so I put all of his information in there. I just think he's a little over detailed. So I would just forget this last page here. All right. So fun tools to use. Zapier. How many of you have actually used Zapier? Have you ever heard of it? Or Zapier? I don't know how they say it. Well, it connects like different things. So I have it pulled up, or I had it pulled up. And Zapier, whatever they call it, is where you can connect things that aren't connected. Okay. So for instance, let's say you create a custom audience. Okay. And you're like, well, that's great. I created a custom audience, but it's only good. I uploaded all my customers, but I'm going to have new customers like the second I upload this thing. So it's going to be irrelevant at that point, right? not so much. If you use Zapier, you can actually do things like what I just did. Kajabi is my website. I created with Zapier for free. I did this free. I don't have a premium account. I said, when someone fills out a form on my website, basically, I want you to add them in to my custom audience on Facebook. So if someone gets my freebie, right, on my website, that's how I set this up. If someone fills that form out, then they're going to be put into my custom audience that I set up on Facebook. So if I upload all my customers and then I get a new customer and I've told Zapier to do, to add them into my custom audience, then it's going to be a complete updated audience at all times. Now I would have to set up another one. Like if I deleted a customer, that would be a second one, but it would be an up-to-date as far as adding people in, and I didn't have to do anything. Someone fills out the form, boom, they're in my custom audience, right? Really cool. I'm not going to lie. They said it was going to be a lot easier to do this than it was. It was a little bit of it was not as easy as they said, but it's not that hard. So if you want, you sign up for a free Zapier account. Now, the other one is, and I've always talked about Canva. So if you're like, where do I get these gorgeous images and how do I create a story ad that looks great, or how do I create a Facebook ad that looks great? You just come here in Canva and the URL is there, but you just say, create a design, Facebook ad, and you can pick all these different templates and change them up. So let's say I wanted to do this one. I could do that, and I could change it up to say whatever I wanted. I could change the picture, whatever I wanted to do. And the beautiful part too is that I could do a couple of these and then make a slideshow out of it. I mean, you can really get creative. You can do videos in here. You could do all kinds of things. So Canva is a great, and that you could do all that for free. You could even do animations on the premium account. So I have a paid account. So if I wanted this to animate, I could do it, and I could just download it as a video. It would be a 3-second video and it would animate. Like basically it would slide in or do whatever. There's like 5 or 6 different animations I could do. And so, and I only pay, I think, $12.99 a month or something like that. And I'm in here every day. In fact, my whole presentation is built in this. So Canva, can't say enough about it. So speaking of my free guide, this will be in your email, but I do have a free guide if you ever wanted to download it. And it's the 5 steps to social media success for your business. It's a really good kind of real quick, comprehensive 5-step program as far as how to get your social game nice and tight, like before you continue on. So it does not get into like different things, like how to move this or change your cover or anything like that, but it's the science behind it. Not real science, but the science behind it. So it's a really great free guide if you'd want one. And you can go to this address here. It'll also be in your email. And then on Tuesday of next week, if you can join me on my Facebook page, I'm going live at 12:30 Eastern with this amazing guy. His name is Seth Hins. Seth is a StoryBrand certified guide. So what StoryBrand is, it's this amazing kind of framework of how to create your website for the most engagement. And he is certified in how to tell the story of your brand. So you don't want to miss it. It's half an hour long. It's, again, it's going to be on live, but if you have questions or if you want to talk to Seth, I strongly say that you should be there in person. He will be answering your questions and also telling you all about StoryBrand and giving you some hints on how you can really shore up your website quickly. And then on the next Friday, I'm going to be doing ClickFunnels. So we talked about, Pixel last week. This week we're talking about customer or custom audiences and audience types, etc. we're going to bring it all home with ClickFunnels next Friday of how to actually create a conversation. So let's say they saw one video and then they see another ad and then they see another ad, and then we get them to actually take some sort of action. And we're going to talk about how to best do that and the best practices for ClickFunnels next Friday. So that was a down and dirty hour of information. So does anybody have questions or anything that you would like me to answer for you? And always know that I'm here to answer afterwards as well. But if you have anything now, you can unmute. Oh, okay. Well, I am around. I can be reached at amanda@higherdigitaldesk.com. I would love it if you could go and give me a review on Google or Facebook or both. And you can always go to my website. All of the webinars that I do every Friday are on my website. Just go there, homepage, go to the bottom in the footer, click on the webinar, and you'll be put in there. You can also see all the services that I provide for you and your company as well. So always remember, invite all your friends. This is free. This is something I love to do. So as long as people find value in it, I'm going to continue to do it. So if you have any ideas for topics, send them my way as well. Okay, stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Bye.